So here's an egg on my face moment, right?
Mm.
So what happened was I had a client tell me that, oh, everything looks great. I'm going to run it by my manager's meeting, but you're welcome to go ahead and shoot. I think this is going to be a go, or we're pretty much set that this is a go, right? So he didn't want to sign it just then until he had his manager meeting, but he literally had me start shooting, and anyway, I kind of started working on a piece, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be an $1,800 deal, great,
Right,
whatever. A week later, I've called him twice.
oh man.
And then I just go in and I'm just like, hey, I've got a little bit of this done. I can show you just kind of a mock-up,
Right.
And he's like, you know what? That looks really, really good. I haven't I haven't had the manager meeting on Saturday like I was supposed to. But yeah, it's looking really, really good. And I'm just like, perfect. I'm going to get this gig, whatever. Right. Yeah. I went to Vegas under the impression that I had an $1,800 deal in the back, in my back burner. And anyway, so I had that.
This was the last time, like a free minute that he finally got to get away from the 6 kids.
Yeah,
we finally got a little bit of time because we take a couple classes together. Finally got a little bit of free time from all of the homework, from your main core of jobs. And YouTube, you got to get away from all of that heavy amount of stuff to take a break. Like, he very much deserved this vacation with the little they ever get away from this town.
So I had a couple of... I didn't go to Vegas under that impression, of course. But I had 2 checks. One was a wedding, one was a client in the processing or whatever.
Right.
So... anyway, thought everything was good. We're down in Vegas, and my $1,400 wedding check ended up bouncing on me. So we're in Vegas, and I'm just like, okay, everything's gonna be all right because there's whatever. I have this thing that is gonna take care of that when we get back, whatever. So I get back and this $1,800 deal that I'm just so sure of, that they just say that they don't have the budget for it, and I'm just like, oh man. See, so not only am I in the hole from the, and then I had to go and try to deal with the wedding couple, and
and trying to get income just to make it through.
Kids, nothing worse than feeling like you can't feed your children.
Dude, that is depressing. But dude, seriously, there's a lot that, like, when you're running your business, like, you rely on that income, and you have to, like, plan for this kind of stuff. And when clients say they're going to pay you, it's whatever. It's like, we're not a big business. Like you said, we are a sole proprietorship. We are just one person trying to get through college, trying to dip our toes into the real world, shoot a little bit of projects. And it's just mind-blowing with, like, really professional businesses that are like, oh, yeah, like, let's get this done, and then they never send the check. You know what I'm saying? Or even wedding clients. Like, we shot a wedding. Remember, we shot that wedding, and we thought this was a big-budget wedding. We traveled pretty far to go there.
Oh, yeah.
They rented an entire resort. Like, it was huge.
Send everybody up to the top of the mountain.
Exactly. And this is exactly why the contract and invoice thing comes into play now, because we didn't know. We trusted, and it sucks, because you wish you could talk to people, and there's people I want to trust, like, oh, I don't want to do a contract, like, I'll just pay you. I want to believe that. I want to do that, but you can't.
In your mind, you just want to keep it as simple as you can.
Dude, it's like, it takes one person to ruin it. Like, you'll get 9 out of 10. Like, I'll pay you on time. I'll do everything on time. And then you get that one person. And this is why we have contracts. This is why. Because here we are up there. To this day, we shot that. When did we shoot that?
Oh, that was August 26th. That one was August 26th. Yeah.
So we're talking
so
about
we had a back-to-back wedding that week too.
Yeah, we did, day by day. But that was 3 months ago, and we have, to this day, have not been paid.
Yeah.
We have not been paid, which is ridiculous because the person that managed the wedding has reached out to us. Oh, yeah, like they're going to pay you. Can you send the video? And, of course, I'll send the video with a huge watermark over it, you know? But it's like, man, it's like not even. It's like
it's like you're helpless, dude, especially if there's helpless. Like those moments where,
and especially like when it's December and it's like we don't have weddings, like we need to get some income to kind of keep afloat for a minute. And the people that were supposed to pay you, I mean, I have 4 or 5 projects.
You want to know what one of the most embarrassing moments was for me in my business, right? And I learned that I needed to switch my phone.
Right.
So coming into it, I had those pay-as-you-go phones or whatever, and I was hoping that I'd have a paycheck. So I do like $150, $200 graphic design things,
right?
Like small things. So I was expecting one of those to have paid or whatever by the time my phone was due, or else my phone would have been shut off. That morning, right? I got a text the day before, and they're just like, "Come on in at like 9:00, and we'll get you paid or whatever." And I'm just like, "All right, perfect. I'm gonna take care of my phone bill, whatever." And anyway, I went to call them, and my freaking phone was shut off at like 9 in the morning. So I'm literally outside of the business. My phone service is completely shut off.
So you can't even call them.
I can't even call them. And so I'm kind of like knocking at the door, and they're just like, "Hey, came to the door. We just tried calling you, and is your phone shut off?" And I'm just like, I'm on the stupid pay. Like, I'm literally trying to explain it to a client.
Dude,
and I literally went and took the check to the bank just to go pay my phone bill, Like,
but that's the little things.
And people don't think that... people think that if you're a business, everything's secure. It's not that way. No.
And that's what I'm trying to say, man, is when we're going around chasing money for the things that we rightfully done. And like I said, a lot of these people we've talked about, where I didn't even get paid the rest of the money for things that I went overboard on. I spent money on to make sure that they got the best of the best, and then I'm yet to see the rest of the invoice they promised. And that is why, like I told you before, when I'm talking to all these photographers, big professional photographers, they charge
up front
30 days before the rest of the invoice needs to be paid. And I hated that, because this is what I'm talking about. I want to be the guy that says, "Hey, 50% down before the wedding and 50% when the video's done." Yeah. That way, you'll love it, and like we can. If you don't, then we can talk and negotiate whatever. That way, like everybody's happy. But I can't do that, because then I have to spend all of this time chasing months and months chasing. Hey, I need this money. I need you to pay me. Like, I have bills done too. Like, it's so stressful, and that is why now when people call me, I'm like, I have to have the full money 30 days, because I can trust myself not to be an asshole and make sure that they get a good quality product. And say I lost their footage or something that's also in my contract, I will give all the money back. Like, I can trust myself because I know myself. Yeah. But I don't know all of these clients that you're meeting on the very day of. I don't know if they're going to pay me. At the end of the day,
when...
Dude, broke or not. I mean, we've shot some low-end weddings, or all the way up to the top, even the wealthy ones. And here we are like, man, this is a huge, expensive wedding, and we're yet to be paid. Yeah. They love our work. They've already said they love our pictures, they love our video, but hey, when it's time to pay, they won't send us an email back.
Yeah. Well, and half of the thing is and I've gone through wedding before, and yours is coming up, and the thing is they're expensive. So in your mind, you're just like, okay, well, that they're already dealing with so much expense. And you just want to be the good guy, you just want to be the good guy.
You don't want to be the bad guy, be like, hey, but it's like, hey, I need you to kind of pay me for the work that I promised you and did my portion. It's time for you. Well, but I'm with you there too. But let me say to this, it's like, if I tell a client, like, it's about, like, let's say it's 30 days before the wedding, I'm like, hey, I need the rest of the money. They will find every way possible,
to make sure you show up.
They want to make sure that you film the wedding. But When it's after the wedding, oh, they know you're not gonna delete the wedding video. Like, no,
Yeah,
I'm never gonna be the a-hole that's like, oh, you didn't pay me? Delete. Like, I'm never gonna be that a-hole. So
at that time, it's on their time, and it's when it's
we'll
convenient.
pay you when you want it. Like, they're not gonna they'll have the wedding video forever. We'll pay them when we get a little bit of extra cash. Like,
the trouble with what we do is it is not small. Small amounts that we're dealing with. This is
some of these
things
weddings,
that are big.
I mean, the wedding that we did together was like $900. Where
$1,000 check is a big deal for us.
Literally,
like
I've missed rent numerous times,
and it's terrible when you look at your invoices, dude. I had a situation where I had two bounce on me.
Man, I know, in Vegas.
No. That's different. That's different. No, this was another time, and thank God they had paid. But yeah, it was just a nightmare dealing with that situation because, number one, you think that the money's there, and here's another thing: is not every business has secure finances.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and both of these are business ones that I'm talking about. A $1,500 one and then a $1,300 one.
Listen, this is
in the same day coming back.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, it's okay to be imperfect, bro.
Yeah,
it's okay. I'm a shameless plug this shit because it's the first episode, but it is okay to be imperfect, and it's okay. I understand when things happen. I just hate when clients are not upfront. Listen, like at my wedding,
exactly.
I already told a person that's doing my wedding, I will not be able to pay you until 2 months after, and you bet you I will make sure that person's paid 2 months after.
Yeah,
trust me, I will take out a loan to make sure that person's. But he agreed, and I'm thankful for that. But I will make sure go everything out of my way. Even if I have to embarrass myself and ask my mom for money to make sure that this person is paid for, because I promised that. That's just how I am. But I understand that people are imperfect, and all of us. I'm definitely not perfect either. But what I'm saying is, when someone tells me for a next month, I'll pay you. 2 weeks, I'll pay you. 3 weeks later, 3 months later, it's like, bro, just be honest with me. Are you gonna pay me or not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me a date. That way I can plan financially. Because I can't, like, oh, my God, rent's due this month. I need the money to pay. You can't hold
your breath for it because you'll end up dying.
Exactly, bro. I literally, you're right. Like, I literally just ignore the money. Like, if they email me one day and want their wedding video and pictures, great. But until then, I'm done. I'm done trying to reach out and give these people their work.
Well, once the horse is out of the barn, it's hard to chase them. And in our jobs that we do, we're videographers. We're not collectors. We're not anything else.
Exactly. We're not like marketing, research, video production.
There's so much that we handle, and it's just a nightmare trying. It's so much extra stress.
It's so much extra stress. I don't want to be the bad guy. And listen, I understand when things go awry. Just please be honest with me. Like, I'm never going to be like, oh, listen, like, okay, like one of my clients, like my husband's in the hospital, and she like shared a Facebook picture a couple days earlier of like this $30,000 hospital bill. And I'm like, this is insane. I was like, listen, take your time to pay me. You know, we'll talk about it after we shoot it, whatever. Shot it. Not even a couple weeks after, she's like, hey, listen, I got the income and was able to pay me.
Yeah,
and it's like, it could have been months or whatever, but I was like, listen, like, I understand, take your time. But she was honest with me and said, I'll tell you in a couple of weeks what's going on. She just happened to have the funds to be able to pay me, but she did email me in a couple of weeks and say, hey, this is where I'm at, and this is what's going on. That way, like, I don't have to like run around and chase, because like
exactly. Well, and
I hate being the bad guy and the good guy. Like, I want to go out and film fun things, and I want to connect with my clients. I love clients. I love weddings. I love shooting. I love editing. I love working, directing. Like, everything about it is amazing until the financial comes into play.
Yeah,
it's like,
the creative side. There is so much. You know, every week I find myself just watching tutorials because I'm interested in learning something that just looks amazing. Like, how'd they do it?
How did they do that effect? Yes.
But when it comes to the finances, the way that that we deal with things is we hustle. Every client project, it doesn't just, typically they don't come to you. You know, you have to put yourself out there. You have to market